via Zoom, please note that there are several ways to submit comments during this meeting. You may raise your hand in Zoom by clicking on the raise hand button located at the bottom of your screen. Members of the public who are participating in Zoom, the Zoom webinar by phone may dial *9 to raise a hand. You may also send your comments by email to publiccomment@burlingame.org. The staff will be monitoring emails submitted during the meeting, which will be read at the appropriate time. The length of the emailed comment should be commensurate with 3 minutes customarily allowed for verbal comments. If you are an applicant or an applicant's representative, I will ask you to raise your hand when your item is up for discussion so that we may be prepared for you to speak at the appropriate time. We ask that you also turn on your video at that time so we may have a more clear communication simulating the experience we would have had if we were meeting in person. This meeting is also being streamed live on YouTube and will be uploaded to the city's website. Agenda item 2, roll call. The record should note that all 7 members of our commission are present this evening. Agenda item 3, request for AB 2249 remote participation. There are no commissioners participating remotely. Agenda item 4, approval of the minutes. We have minutes to review and approve from September 11th, 2023, the regular Planning Commission meeting. Do my colleagues have any comments, changes, discussions?
Just one comment. I was not here on September 11th, and so I'm going to not vote.
Actually, I wasn't either, but I did watch the video, so I don't know what that means.
That's great. You can certainly vote on that item if you'd like to, and Commissioner Schmidt can just abstain from that vote.
Okay, may I have a motion then from someone?
I'll move to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner Bell, seconded by Commissioner Camerado. And I guess that,
Roll call, Commissioner Camerado,
Aye.
Commissioner Horan,
Aye.
Commissioner is abstaining, Commissioner Shores,
Aye.
Commissioner Say,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lowenthal,
Aye.
and Chair Fa.
aye. Okay, so not exactly sure how I write that one up, but I'll let you worry about each of the minutes. Okay, agenda number 5, approval of the agenda. Staff, are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Okay, and do we have any recusals?
I'll be recusing from item 9A
Okay, Commissioner Say
for business reasons.
from item 9A for business reasons. Thank you. Agenda item 6, public comments, non-agenda. Members of the public may speak about any item not on the agenda. Members of the public wishing to suggest an item for a future Planning Commission agenda meeting may do so during the public comment period. The Ralph Brown Act, the state local agency open meeting law, prohibits the Planning Commission from acting on any matter that is not on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Please speak clearly into the microphone. So do we have any members of the public who wish to speak on any item that is not on our agenda? Does not look like that. Do we have any hands or any Zoom?
We have 2 attendees and there are no hands raised.
And there are no emails at publiccomment@burlingame.org.
Okay, then seeing none, we're going to move on to the next item. Study items. There are no study items for review. Agenda item 8 is the consent calendar. Items on the consent calendar considered to be routine. They are acted on simultaneously unless separate discussion and/or action is requested by the applicant. A member of the public or a commissioner prior to the time the commission votes on the motion to adopt. This evening, we have 1 item on the consent calendar. Would any member of the public or Planning Commission like to pull this item for discussion? Okay, do we have any public members?
2 attendees and no hands raised.
And no public comments on this item.
Okay, great, thank you. So seeing none, Then I'm going to ask for a motion by Commissioner to approve all items.
I make a motion that we approve the consent items as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, great. Motion from Commissioner Schmidt, seconded by Commissioner Say. Your roll call.
Commissioner Camerado,
Aye.
Commissioner Horan,
Aye.
Commissioner Schmid,
Aye.
Commissioner Shores,
Aye.
Commissioner Say,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lowenthal,
Aye.
and Chair Pfaff.
Aye. Thank you very much. Moving along to our regular action items. The first one will be 5 Rio Court, item 9A. If you are the applicant and are attending the meeting via Zoom, please raise your hand so that we may be prepared for you to speak at the appropriate time. If possible, we ask for you to turn on your video at that time. Were any commissioners not able to visit the project site, or do any commissioners wish to note any ex parte communications regarding this project? Okay. And as we've said, Commissioner Say is recusing from this item. Let the record note that all commissioners present have visited the project site. Can we hear the staff report, please?
Yes, the applicant is proposing a first floor addition and a new second story to the existing house at 5 Rio Court. The subject property is located within the hillside overlay zone. Code section 25-20-040 states that hillside development shall be designed to preserve existing distant views. View preservation shall be limited to obstruction of distant views to San Francisco Bay, the San Francisco Airport, and Mills Canyon from primary indoor living areas. And those would be living rooms and family rooms. And again, that's in code section 25-20-040. The Planning Commission last reviewed this application on August 14th, 2023. The applicant submitted a response letter dated August 28th, 2023, and revised plans date 30th, 2023 to address the Planning Commission's comments from that meeting. The response letter is included in the staff report. In summary, the applicant is requesting the following applications: design review for a first and second story addition to an existing single unit dwelling, and hillside construction permit for a first and second story addition to an existing single unit dwelling. The applicant is in attendance to answer questions from the commission, but first I'm available for questions of staff.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for our staff? No. Okay, then I'm going to open the public hearing. Would the applicant please come forward and state your name and anything else you'd like to add about your project?
Hi, my name is Angela Yee, and this is our home, 5 Rio Court. I hope that we have made the changes that you have requested to allow you to consider our application for this new home. We look forward to being able to live there soon. It's been over a year. So again, I hope that the changes that we've made have been up to your standards and that we have accommodated the neighborhood's concerns. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wait a minute. So do we have any members of the public? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even look at you. Of course, you may speak, present.
Okay, hi, can you hear
Hi,
me?
sorry about that.
No problems. Good evening, commissioners. Again, this is Lauren Lee of Inside Design. And yes, I am representing Angela Yee, who just spoke, owner of 5 Rio Court. First, I would like to thank you for your thoughtful comments at the design review study meeting on August 14th regarding our project for a proposed second story addition. We were glad that it was determined that the proposed project does not block distant views. We did, however, make some further design changes to address the comments regarding the horizontal characteristics of a ranch style home. And you can see those changes in the updated rendering. One, we raised the sill height of the stair window and changed the balance of the second floor windows along the front elevation to all be the same size to create a consistent horizontal line. Two, we stepped back the wall of the stairs to expose more.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think there's just an audio issue. I just want to make sure it gets recorded properly. is it possible for you to turn up something you have there, your computer? We can hardly hear you.
Um,
Or yeah, maybe you can just be closer.
Okay,
Thank you.
you want me to start again?
Oh, you don't have to start again. It was just a couple minutes ago you started fading out.
Yeah, okay. So I was going over some of the updates that we had and changes that we had made to the design based on comments from the last meeting. So I'll go to the second item. So we stepped back the wall of the stairs to expose more visible roof surface on the first floor at that location. 3, we raised the pitch of the entry pediment to create more exposed roof, again visible at the first floor, and less stucco at that location on the second floor. We did also consider adding horizontal siding to the second floor addition to accentuate that horizontal look, but we found that it brought more attention to the second floor rather than having it blend into the first floor. We'd also like to just remind the commission that we did explore first floor expansion options early on in the project, but because of the restrictions due to the lot size, its wedge shape and the terrain, a first floor addition to meet the family's need was determined a non-option due to the following. 1, the shallow backyard that greatly limited a rear expansion. 2, the lot coverage limitation that did not allow ample square footage for a first floor addition to meet the program. And 3, excavation and grading limitations listed in Municipal Code 25.20.040 that limits the feasibility of lower floor options. Thank you very much. And please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any comments? I mean, not comments yet, questions. The architect. No? No. All right, then I believe we have a member of the public who presented a card for this item. So this is going to be our first public comment speaker request. So Mr. Lawrence Barulich, sorry, I say that wrong. Thank you.
I do have a question first before my time starts. I was unaware of any changes to the plans, and I thought I read if there's changes to the plans that it has to go back to the planning.
This would be that session where there were changes. They did submit them.
This is an action item, though. Wouldn't it go back to the 10th item?
No, I think it just goes back to regular because it's kind of been continued.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. We look at them. Believe me, we look at them.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, commissioners and staff. My name is Larry Barulich, and I live at 1821 Loyola Drive with my wife, Joanne. We are here to oppose the second story addition at 5 Rio Court. Once again, I must quote some of the comments that were made at the May 8th meeting. One commissioner said, quote, "On the other hand, I do agree that a second story on this street is out of character and out of scale for this area. I find it hard to want to support that given how much higher it's going to be than others." And also a quote, "Neighbors downhill, they're going to be impacted as well from a much taller structure." A second commissioner said, quote, "To echo what my fellow commissioner said about the neighborhood, this cul-de-sac has no other second stories and doesn't quite fit. The design of it's lovely. I like the design, but unfortunately, it doesn't quite coincide with what we're seeing in the same cul-de-sac." All present agreed. At that May 8th meeting, the commissioners made these statements after evaluating the site, taking into consideration the architectural balance and surrounding neighborhood and past precedents, and overwhelmingly believed in their hearts that a second story did not fit this neighborhood. And that's a public record. At the August 14th meeting, there was a complete shift in opinion from some of the commissioners, disregarding the impact on the future of the neighborhood and disregarding past precedent. Others had obvious concerns. Several of you are struggling to approve this project. It does not have to be approved tonight. Commissioner Lowenthal stated, quote, "As a contractor, I know there are other options." Commissioner Soares stated, quote, "I do think there are some measures that can be taken to negate how prominent the second story is. And the fact that from the street, there is absolutely, unmistakably a big second story. And quote, consider making the second story feel less imposing, de-emphasizing the vertical elements and put more emphasis on the horizontal elements. I also had two commissioners tell me that, quote, someone has to be first. Because someone has to be first should not be how you determine the future of the residents that live in this neighborhood. 5 Real Court was purchased over 2 years ago and has never been occupied. We need to take the time to exhaust all options before allowing this absolutely unmistakable big second story to go forward. Thank you for your time and consideration. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other comments, public comments in any form?
There's only one other attendee and their hand's not raised.
Email?
And there are no emails at publiccomment@burlingame.org.
Okay. So then it's back to us.
You will want to close the public hearing.
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I am going to close the public hearing. So commissioners, we'd like to start with this one. Comments?
I just like to ask, did anyone get an original or older set of plans with them? I only got the plans. Okay, sometimes we get older plans.
Yeah.
Very,
No,
that's mine.
no, actually, it's true. We do get usually older plans. No, we didn't. That's true. Okay.
I'll go. I initially was skeptical of this project and the height and the neighborhood, but that was, when we had that May 8th meeting, we didn't have story poles up yet. And so it was kind of hard to say how much bigger it was going to be. I think the story poles added a lot. And so then that made subsequent visits clearer on the impact of that view. So I'm not really, I don't feel like this is a view impact. Yes, it adds a bit more height. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 6'11", which really is a nominal amount of height add for a second story addition. So I like the changes that were made to the windows and things. I think that the team has looked into many of the alternatives that we talked about to try and exhaust them. And I think in order to make this all work, this might actually be the best solution. And so I don't see a reason to hold them back on this. And I support it and think it should move forward.
I just wanted to add, I do regret that I wasn't able to pull it up on my computer earlier either. I wasn't able to accurately compare this to earlier plans, but compared to those, I'm really happy with the changes here. I think that the architect made basically all the right moves here in addressing those comments. I think that stucco was the right move over horizontal wood. I think that changing out the windows where they did and adding that extra roof peak over the entryway, I think those were all great changes. Generally, that's the best result I could have asked for outside of moving the whole second story, which I know is completely not cost feasible. So yeah, generally, I think that comments have been addressed very well, and I'm happy to support the project in the state.
Any other? No other? Yes.
Yeah, I can address,
Lowenthal.
at first glance, I was taken by the size of the addition in the plans, but then the story poles went up, and I guess my viewpoint changed a little bit in regards to the house itself. I mean, it looks really nice. It checks all the boxes that I would want to see in the neighborhood. It fits the neighborhood's character. It's just a little bit taller. It's not a lot taller. As my fellow commissioner said, it's 6'11" more than what it was. I mean, there's an antenna on the roof that's probably as tall. And so everything else in the application seems to fall in line. And so the question is this impacting distant views? Well, distant views of the sky, absolutely. I'm not sure it's actually impacting the distant views of the bay views that are as defined in the code. So I tend to agree with my fellow commissioners. I think the changes that were made accentuate the addition. It doesn't detract, and I think it fits real nicely on the property. So I'm inclined to support it.
I have nothing to add. I was supportive the last times. For
Oh.
consistency, I'll support it
Okay.
now.
So no, if there are other comments, I would like to say, I'm sorry that we can't see. I think there might at least 2 rounds of changes, if not 3. I'm trying to think on this one. And I want to thank my fellow commissioner or commissioners / who wanted to see the emphasis on the horizontal. I think it's just really, really improved. And I want to actually thank you for your comments because this has really made a better project. I'm also inclined to, for the same reasons, to be in support of this. Does anyone want to?
Well, barring anybody else, I'll make a motion that we approve this project as submitted in the staff report.
Including the hillside area construction permit.
Of course. I knew you'd follow me up.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Schmid and
Oh, sorry,
Second.
should have done that part. Yeah,
Chris Perrin. That's okay.
yeah. Sorry, Horan.
And
Yeah.
roll call, Commissioner Camerado,
Aye.
Commissioner Horan,
Aye.
Commissioner Schmid,
Aye.
Commissioner Shores.
Aye.
Vice Chair Lowenthal.
Aye.
And Chair Foth.
Aye. All right. Thank you very much and congratulations. So this
Just
is
the
not,
language.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the appeal language. An action by the planning commission is appealable to the city council within 10 days of planning commission's action. If the planning commission's action has not been appealed or called up for review by the city council by 5 p.m. on the 10th day, the action becomes final. In order to be effective, appeals must be in writing and must be accompanied by an appeal fee of $784, which includes noticing costs. Congratulations, and thank you very much for your call. Okay, then we're moving to item 9B, 442 Chatham Road. If you're the applicant and are attending the meeting via Zoom, please raise your hand so that we may be prepared for you to speak at the appropriate time. If possible, we ask that you also turn on your video at that time. Were any commissioners not able to visit the project site, or do any commissioners wish to note any ex parte communications regarding this project? Don't think we have any recusals. No. Let the record note that all commissioners present have visited this project site. Can we have the staff report, please?
This application is for design review for a first and second story addition to an existing single unit dwelling. The proposed project is an interior lot with an existing one-story house with an attached garage. The applicant is proposing a first floor remodel in addition and to construct a new second story. The total floor area would be 2,931 square feet, where 2,940 square feet is the maximum allowed. The proposed project would contain 4 bedrooms. At least 2 parking spaces are required, one of which must be covered. The existing attached garage provides 1 covered space and 1 uncovered space is provided in the driveway. All other zoning code requirements have been met. The commission last reviewed this project on August 14, 2023. Revised plans, date stamped September 14, 2023, were submitted by the applicant, and a response letter dated August 29, 2023, which is included in the attachments of the staff report. That concludes my summary. If there are any questions of staff, I'm available at this time.
Thank you very much. And do we have any questions of staff? Okay. Then I'm going to open the public hearing. Would the applicant please come forward and state your name and anything else you'd like to add about your project? Yes, online. Thank you.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Ginger and I'm with Architecture Allure. I'm the project manager for this project. Thank you for having me this evening. I feel like we had a really good meeting last time and we were able to come back with just a couple of minor issues that I feel like we addressed and made it look even better. One of the bigger issues, it looked like item number 2 and number 6. Things were looking a bit flat, and there was a question on the stone veneer, and then there was a question on the gable end on the front elevation. Looks stuck on, and both of those items were addressed. We did make the gable end have some deeper detailing so you can see the shadows. And we will certainly have, for the steps, we will certainly, and the stone, we will certainly have plantings. And I think in reality, it will be much more dynamic than what we can see on the paper. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and I'm going to be happy, hopefully, to be starting this in process of permitting.
Okay, so do we have, well, first of all, yes, any questions of the applicant, first of all? I just have a little one. One of the comments was regarding the veneer, whether you'd considered wrapping it around the, not necessarily at that height, but wrapping some kind of stone wrap around the garage area. At least that's what I remember the meeting. Did you consider that? And if you didn't do it, do you have a reason why you didn't go that direction?
We did. I didn't know if that was necessarily an actual comment, like an actual suggestion. It didn't appear on the comments as sent to us for us to respond to. But I did want to point out that there will be a fence, so you won't see that one garage facade. It won't be, one big garage facade. There will be a fence separating the two properties. So it won't look like it actually does on that elevation.
Okay. Very good. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Any comments from us? Any questions? So, no. All right, then. Do any members of the public wish to speak on this item?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
And no emails at publiccomment@burlingame.org.
Okay, very good. Then I'm going to close the public hearing. So I'm going to go with this one.
I liked it before. I like it still. So
I agree.
to go.
I agree.
All right, very good. And Commissioner Camerata, you have anything you'd like to add? Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve it as presented.
then I'm going to second that. Nice job. And so I have a motion from Commissioner Schmidt to approve the item as presented, and a second from me, Vice Chair, or no, oh, I'm a chair, Chair Pfaff. So I'd like to call a roll call vote.
Commissioner Camerata,
Aye.
Commissioner Horn,
Aye.
Commissioner Schmidt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shores,
Aye.
Commissioner Say,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lowenthal.
Aye.
Chair Pfaff.
Aye. All right, so an action by the Planning Commission is appealable to the City Council within 10 days of Planning Commission's action. The Planning Commission's action has not been appealed or called up for review by the City Council by 5 p.m. on the 10th day. The action becomes final. In order to be effective, appeals must be in writing and must be accompanied by an appeal fee of $784, which includes noticing costs. Congratulations to the applicant. Agenda item 10, design review items. We actually have no design review study items. We do not have any. Item 11 is commissioners' reports. Are there any commissioners' reports? Nope. director's reports. Do we have any director's reports?
We do have an item that the next planning commissioner training through 21 Elements is coming up on October 30th. That's a Monday. That's the 5th Monday in October. So we don't have a planning commission that night. This training will focus on building productive working relationships between planning commissioners and staff.
Oh.
We like to
Well,
think we
we
already
don't-
have those, but hey, so that's the topic. You could decide if you want to come. If you registered already because we had the first one in the spring, if you register for both, you're already registered. If you do want to register, they'll have dinner. It's from 5:30 to 7:30 on the 30th. We can send an email out to the commission with the details.
Dinner was good last time. Okay, very good.
That's all I got. We do not have any FYIs, and at the last council meeting, there were not any pending items.
Okay, are there any future agenda items?
I do want to bring something up, and I don't know if this is for planning or for building. But I'm sure that we've all heard that PG&E has been really delayed on some of our projects. And I've received a few calls from builders that are saying that their their permits are now getting to be up. And they have to pay renewal fees because PG&E is taking so long. So I thought maybe if you can maybe talk to the building department and see if those permit fees can maybe be looked at if it's a PG&E issue and they're not coming to the table and helping our developers and contractors in town.
Yeah, let us follow up on that and see what options there might be.
Okay, thanks.
Good, thank you. Good point. Okay, then seeing no more, I think. Wow. That's pretty record time, and meeting would be adjourned at 7:32. Thank you very much.